Let's go here out to the fan hotline. Welcome in Mark Schlereth. Stink, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. How you guys doing?
We're doing all right here. We actually want to play a little snippet of sound because your old friend Jerry Jeudy had a tiff on the sidelines with Shedeur Sanders this weekend. Have you heard about this? Have you seen about this? Have you heard about this? And I want to play for you today. He was asked about it by the media, and I want to see if any of what you're about to hear sounds familiar. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right, here we go.
What I would have done different, I probably just probably talk to them off camera. That's probably what I would have done differently. Of course, I'm gonna speak my mind and tell me what and say what I need, what I see out there. But it what it is. Football, man. Just me and Shedeur are good. It's stuff like that happens. Y'all gonna make it bigger than what it is. Because the media, that's what y'all feed off of, negativity. But it is what it is. This is the life we live. So we move on from it. And I live a real life. So what happened around in this locker room, just real, not what's going on social media and everything. So me and Shedeur good, everything good, man. We gravy over here.
As someone that covered him in Denver, does that sound familiar at all to you?
Well, yeah, but, he's right to a degree, sometimes things happen on the sideline. Sometimes you blow up. Sometimes, sometimes you're having a discussion that looks worse than it is. I wasn't there. I don't exactly know. But exactly know what happened. But at the same time, that's one of the reasons that when he played here, I was very critical about the way he played because ultimately, you've been in the league for however long you've been in the league. You lead the league in drops every year. The lack of awareness, the fumble down the sideline was just unbelievable. Was that the Raiders? I think that was the Raiders game. The fumble down the sideline, your complete and total lack of awareness. Those are the issues, and those were the issues. As I said, I probably came on your guys' show before. Said I wish I could buy him for what he's worth and sell him for what he thinks he's worth because he's an unbelievably talented guy, but I think he's a very below-average football player.
How much of this is redeemable? This has now been 3 straight weeks in a row where Jerry's had something pop up where it's like, I can't believe this is the direction that he's going right now.
Yeah, well, listen, if you don't hold yourself accountable and you don't look at yourself through a critical eye, then, until you're willing to do that, it's not redeemable. It'll never work. So, again, that's my opinion. And you can take it for what it's worth. He can take it for what it's worth. But I do have, 3 world championships to my career and my name and 12 years of start. And so I do know something about winning a championship, and what it takes and the sacrifice that it takes and your willingness to put others ahead of yourself and to be a professional football player. Listen, I was just talking on my podcast today, not about Jerry Jeudy, but just about being a professional. And I used to say this to my kid all the time. When my son got drafted in the first round by the Arizona Diamondbacks, I sat him down and said, just because you play a pro sport doesn't make you professional. I was a professional freaking football player. I never was late to a meeting. I never missed a meeting. I never missed a workout. I had literally in 6 years of starting in Denver, I had 3 missed assignments, and they still haunt me. That most guys have 3 a game in 6 years. I was a professional freaking football player, and it meant something to me. And it means something to me to sacrifice for my teammates. It means something for me to put others ahead of myself in the organization. That's important to me. And I wanted it to be important to my son. And I've had conversations with my son when he's playing in Arizona. And I don't even know what happened. I don't even know, but it was something that Terrell Owens did. And I called him up, and he answers the phone, and I said, do you see what happened? Do you see? And I don't even remember what it was. But with Terrell Owens, he goes, yeah, I saw it. And I go, I just want you to know that if you ever act like that, I will be on the next flight to wherever you are, and I will whip your ass in front of every one of your teammates. Do you understand that? Yeah, Dad, I get it. Okay, good. I just want to know. I just want you to know that these are the consequences of how you behave as a, at that time he was a collegiate athlete, but as a professional athlete, because that's what I expect, because that's what I demanded of myself.
Stink, I got to say, if I had 3 Super Bowl rings, I mean, it would come up in every conversation. Like, if me and the missus argue about who's going to take the trash out, it'd be like, well, I have 3 Super Bowl rings. I think I've committed enough here.
Now, the response back from her is like, well, you've displayed a real ability to get things done, haven't you? You can get this done as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just one of those things that, for me, like playing a professional sport and being involved in that, I didn't play just because you could make money doing it. I played to win. I wanted to win championships, and I think most guys do, but I think there's a lot of guys that don't understand what it takes, especially at this level. And you look at the Cleveland Browns, like I'm knee deep in film study right now, watching them, and that defense is, for your fans, go listen to the Stinking Truth podcast today, because I made an argument that Myles Garrett should win an MVP. He should be the MVP of this league. He is doing things that nobody in the history of this league has done. It's unbelievable. That dude is getting blocked. He's getting double teamed on almost every play. He's got 19 sacks right now. He's the one dude, when you line up, you got to take away, and nobody can take him away. And we're not talking about a bunch of dumb, football coaches. They understand. You break the huddle, 95. Where is he, and how are we going to contend with him? And he's still sitting with 5 games left at 19 sacks. Man, I played against Reggie White. I played against Warren Sapp. I played against John Randall. I played against Lawrence freaking Taylor. I played against the best that have ever played the game. And that dude is doing things that they didn't do. And he's doing it. Think about this now. He's doing it in a day and age of the NFL where it's all about 3-step drops and freaking bubble screens. You get maybe 10, 12 legitimate opportunities to rush the passer on any given weekend. And because your offense can't score, the offense of the opponent doesn't put themselves into harm's way. You're not getting that complementary nature. You're not building a 20-point lead where they have to throw it every down. They're looking at it like, hey, man, we can go 3 plays and punt because, Cleveland's offense isn't good enough to score against us. So you're getting even less opportunities to rush the freaking passer if you're Myles Garrett, and he's got 19 sacks at this juncture, getting double-teamed every time. If that's not an MVP, but of course, we can't look beyond the quarterbacks, right? We can't see beyond the quarterback. Oh, the quarterback this, the quarterback that. Oh, my God. Oh, listen, man. Hey, listen, if the safety jumps the over, throw the post. If the safety hangs on top of the post, throw the over. Ooh, it's so complicated. Oh my gosh, how are we ever going to understand what the quarterback does? It doesn't equate to what Myles Garrett is doing. I understand you guys have won 3 games, so nobody's going to vote for him. But if it were up to me, quarterbacks wouldn't win MVPs. Because what he's doing is next level exceptional. It is like he is a freak show among freak shows, and I for one just respect the crap out of it.
Okay, so why then has it not translated into wins? Like, you caught yourself there for a second. You're like, he's putting this all season. It's been incredible. No one can deny that. But then we only do have 3 wins, as you mentioned. Is that coaching? Is that the offensive side of the ball? Is that special teams it's been a get? What is that?
Well, it's obviously in your last game, you guys special team gaps all over the place. Like, you don't have margins to win. You guys don't have the margins to win on special teams and on offense. What that defense is doing, they're number 2 in almost every discernible category, number 2 or number 3. Like, you know how unbelievable that is when you're getting next to no production from your offense. San Francisco has got a bunch of also-rans off the street that are starting on defense, and you scored 8 points. It's absolutely amazing, and that just goes to show you, the cliche of, defense wins championships. No, it doesn't. Complete teams win championships. Like you gotta have both sides of the ball and special teams and all those things. But again, like to me, it's absolutely unbelievable what that guy is doing on a football field right now.
Mark Schlereth on the fan hotline here with Nick and JP breaking down a game he's going to be on the call for. Browns-Titans on Sunday here in Cleveland. I guess we'll start with the quarterback matchup. How do you view Cam Ward versus Shedeur Sanders on Sunday?
Yeah, both of them have got a lot of work to do. Both of them have got a lot of improvement to make. Cam Ward's a better athlete, scrambles around a little bit. I think he needs to add in at this point in his career. He needs to run the ball more than he does. You always have to have an answer, like pre-snap, have an answer. And if that answer is 1 to 2 to scramble, then that's good. And that's really one of the things that you look at what Drake May has done this year. He has been really front side 1, 2, take off, 1, 2, take off. That's been his answer, and he's been exceptional at that. So Cam Ward has got to incorporate more of that in his game. I think he throws the ball as a natural athlete better outside the pocket on the move than he does inside the pocket. There are plenty of mechanical things that break down in the pocket to where he'll throw, just off-arm angles, and he'll drop his elbow, and he just is not very accurate when those things happen, and they happen way too frequently. So he's got a lot of learning to do as a quarterback, as does Shedeur. Obviously they're making it really easy with the screens, the bubble screens. Most of the completions were within 2-3 yards of the line of scrimmage. So that's part of the thing. You saw the big ball over the top to Jeudy he missed. Windy conditions and all those different things. But just holding the ball a little bit late with some things. More apt to throw the check down. So again, young quarterbacks, you got to grow. You got to have that confidence, and other guys around them have to support them. They've got to do a good job with that stuff. So both quarterbacks have a lot of growing to do. But the cool thing is they're getting the opportunity.
You said you're knee-deep in film study already for this week and really digesting a lot of the Browns season. What has been a surprise to you as you play, and you've done Browns games already, but what has caught you a little off guard as you dive deeper and deeper?
Well, I don't know about catching me off guard, but I think Schlesinger is incredible. I think he's flying around making, all kinds of plays. I think the thing that surprised me most is you get so much Myles Garrett, and rightfully so. But up and down that line of scrimmage, Mason Graham has been unbelievable. Collins, I know he's hurt right now, but he's been unreal. Shelby Harris, the inside rotation of that defensive line has been really, really good. The Alex Wright kid, I think he's injured as well. I don't know when he went out, but I just remember he's been unbelievable, and so I think the whole defensive line has been great. Listen, defensively, man, they got a bunch of dudes that, regardless of the fact that this offense isn't producing, those dudes are flying around, hitting people. Denzel Ward that dude's a football playing Jesse, man. He just makes plays. And he'll tackle, he'll hit people. One thing that just blew me away, and I got 8 million notes. I write notes to myself. I have to write everything, and I've got unbelievable penmanship, by the way. My penmanship is incredible. I'll send you guys a picture. But
please do.
But yeah, I've got all these notes written down, and one of the things is how exceptional this defense is rallying to the ball. And in today's football, it's crazy to me. If all you do is tackle well, that's all you do. You just make tackles and make stops and don't let people have, dirty yards after contact, right? Don't have the leaky yardage. If all you do is that, you will eliminate scores in this league because offenses are going to shoot themselves in the foot, and offenses in today's NFL are so worried about getting into premium plays and are so worried about, hey, if you get into this, we want you to get into this defense so we have this leverage advantage over here. Very few teams just line up and say, we're going to bludgeon you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it drives me crazy about today's football. but it is what we do, and it's one of the reasons there's so many pre-snap penalties and so many issues, because guys are thinking so many missed assignments in today's football where you rotate a safety down, whether it's strong or weak, and all of a sudden guys lose complete and total focus on the number count and who they've got at the second level and who they're supposed to block, and it's almost comical. The number of mistakes that are made in today's game, and a lot of it, I understand we don't practice in pads. We don't, there's just a lot of, I'm old man in my black socks, standing on my porch, and I get that, and people like to say stuff like that, but most of those people don't know jack squat about playing football, so I can handle it.
All right, Stink. I've seen this script that I think is about to play out 1,000,000 times before in Cleveland. You're 3-9. It feels like the season is getting progressively more lost. You're starting to get weird stuff. There's a weird situation with Wyatt Teller last week. The Jerry Jeudy stuff has started to happen. And you can kind of see that at some point the ass is going to fall out of this thing. That usually means a head coach gets fired or a GM gets fired or everybody gets fired and people get traded. So from where the Browns are right now with 5 games to go, how do they avoid finishing the script the exact same way I've seen it done countless times over the last 26 years?
Yeah, I don't know that you fix that. I don't know. I mean, every time I turn on social media, it's about is Shedeur Sanders being sabotaged? Is Kevin Stefanski they're giving Kevin Stefanski's giving Shedeur Sanders the crappy plays. There's one of 32. You're one of 32. One of 32. You think you're trying to lose a game because you don't like a kid, or you don't believe a kid, or they forced this draft pick upon you? That's the most insanely stupid thing I've ever heard. It's hard to win in this league, and ultimately, it's really hard if you and the front office aren't on the same page. And obviously, you saw the draft footage of Shedeur Sanders getting drafted. It looked like Stefanski just ate a lemon. We've all seen that. So you can only assume that wasn't his pick. But the bottom line to me is this. You have got to be willing to make the tough decisions, and you've got to have the right people within your organization that are all pulling in the same direction. And sometimes the right decision is to get rid of a really good football player that has great potential, but he's not the right guy. And when you bring those guys into an organization, it's like putting a turd in the punch bowl. And you will never, ever win that way. Ever. I don't care how talented guys are. I don't. So you've got to be willing to make the really tough decisions. And we've seen the dramatic turnaround. Look at what's going on in New England right now. Look what's going on with the Denver Broncos. Man, here in Denver, people were going crazy because Sean Payton yelled at Russell Wilson. Well, guess what? He wasn't Sean's guy. He wasn't the right guy. And people said, "Oh, you'll never be able to overcome, that $36 million in cap debt to this year. I think it was $50 million last year." Guess what? Bo Nix has won more games in the first 2 years of his. There's only 4 guys ahead of him or 5 guys ahead of him. He's won 20 games in his first 2 years as a starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. He hasn't been great, but he's been really good. And the bottom line is you put the right people in play around him. Same thing with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel comes in there and makes some really tough decisions on some guys. To say, man, this guy's not part of our team. Hell, in the first 4 weeks of the season, he cut his starting safety. Yeah, you know what? You can leave. We don't need you. Those are the type of decisions that great organizations make, that championship organizations make. And bad organizations say to themselves, "Yeah, but you know what? If we can just get him if we can just get him to do the little things right, if we can just get him to do this, he's so talented." They can't look beyond the talent. And I just know from experience, talent, hey, we got to have great talent. You know what? Joe Gibbs used to say this all the time in meetings when I played for Joe Gibbs and the Washington Redskins. Talent will win. Talent will make plays in the first 3 quarters of the game, but great character wins games in the fourth quarter. And he goes, I would much rather have great character on my team than great talent. And I tell you, like I said, I played 12 years, started for 12 years in this league, and won championships. And it was always about the character of the men, not the talent of the men.
Mark, excellent stuff as always, buddy. Can't wait to catch you on the game this weekend. Browns and Titans. Love the Stinking Truth podcast where everyone can find on Spotify and Apple. You're great, buddy. Appreciate you.
You got it, guys. Take care.
Mark Schlereth there, Odyssey NFL insider, host of the Stinking Truth podcast.